What's up, guys, and welcome to Bram Stoker's Dracula review. Spooky season has begun. From now until November, I'm just gonna be watching nothing but horror films, anything that I missed from the past or that recently came out. And this is a classic film that I just never got around to seeing. Somehow. Every time I was like, I like this vampire movie, someone would be like, yeah, but have you seen Bram Stoker's Dracula? And I want to rectify that now. And I'm upset that I didn't see it. And off rip from the cast and director, you could just tell this was going to be a banger. Anthony Hopkins, Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder, Francis Ford Coppola directing. Yeah, I don't know why I never watched this, but now I have, and I'm glad I did. This movie had like an old mythology-like feel to it. It felt like new age, old universal horror. I loved it. The cinematography was on point with like the painted backgrounds to add depth to frames or using miniatures. I just love when it's done in camera practically. It's real. Your eyes are like, yeah, that's real, dude. I see that. You know, like it just works. There's not that weird uncanny valley that CGI does sometimes. And there's also something about, you know, digital to film. Film in the 80s and the 90s just had like this certain texture to it. Like it just hits. Like to film, on film, is how it should go. There's just something about the difference between digital and film. Like digital, you can get all the pretty shots and whatnot, but film just has like a certain texture to it. It adds something to the film itself. Film on film just hits, dude. And like I said, with the cinematography, it was done so well, you could really feel the evil of Dracula. When Dracula wasn't around, there was a lot of soft lighting, soft shadows, nothing too harsh, but as soon as Dracula came, you would see the darkness flow in, the dark, hard shadows cut through, really feeling the weight of the darkness. And as I was watching this film, I couldn't help but notice that it feels exactly like Nosferatu. And I was like, that's weird. Did Dracula just rip off Nosferatu? Because I know Nosferatu came out in 1922, the silent film, and the Universal Dracula picture came out in 1931, I believe. I was like, oh, that's kind of whack, dude. Dracula just ripped off Nosferatu. But that's not the case. I couldn't shake the feeling. And there's a moment in the film where Anthony Hopkins says Nosferatu.
Vampire, Nosferatu.
Which is a word from Romania, meaning vampire. And I'm like, all right, dude, let me just look this shit up. So doing a little research, I found out that Dracula came first. Bram Stoker's Dracula came first. It was his novel in 1897. Nosferatu was made from that story, changing characters' names and some little story plot lines. They just tried to avoid copyright infringement. But the Stoker estate obviously saw this, sued the fuck out of them, but the copies had already, you know, gone out into the world and became a cult classic. And, you know, if you don't really look into it, you just think, oh, Dracula is Nosferatu. Got it, you know? But in actuality, Nosferatu is Dracula. Little history lesson for you. I thought this was a fantastic film. Gary Oldman as Dracula is, he's a chameleon. He's one of those actors, he's like Daniel Day-Lewis, where he puts himself into the character and he becomes the character fully. You don't see Gary Oldman anymore. I saw Dracula. It's fucking awesome. Keanu Reeves did okay. This was early Keanu, you know, like he couldn't break that Keanu Reeves accent while speaking with a British accent. So it just felt like British Keanu.
Count Dracula.
But other than that, that was really the only thing that kind of took me out of it slightly. But yeah, other than that, the movie was just like spot on, dude. And after having seen Robert Eggers' remake of Nosferatu, I'm like directly comparing it in my brain as I watch it. And there were some things that I liked from both stories. I actually felt bad for Dracula, dude. I was kind of rooting for him for a little bit until he started murdering everyone. Then it's like, oh yeah, that's bad. But just the story of Dracula being this tragic love story, it hit, man. And one thing I didn't like too much about Robert Eggers' remake was at a certain point, it kind of just told you what was gonna happen. Spoiler alert. When Willem Dafoe's character is speaking with Lily Depp's character, like, hey, this is the prophecy. This is what has to be done. You gotta kill him like this. And that's essentially how the film goes. There was no twist, nothing crazy happened that threw a wrench into the plan. It just happens. I don't like that, dude. I want to be surprised. Don't tell me what's gonna happen. In Bram Stoker's Dracula, dude, you're just like, I don't know what's going on, dude. Keanu Reeves about to kill Winona Ryder, dude? I was like, oh, shit. Anthony Hopkins is Van Helsing? Oh, shit, dude. Winona Ryder's a vampire now? She's just a vampire? Holy shit. Wait, is Keanu Reeves about to put bullets in Winona Ryder? Yeah, I loved it. By the end of the film, I was just, you know, locked in, waiting to see what would happen next. I think it's just a beautifully written story, and Francis Ford Coppola paid homage in a beautifully made movie. Even with British Keanu. Fun fact, did you know that it was Francis Ford Coppola's birthday around the time of filming this movie, and Keanu Reeves gave him mushrooms for his birthday?
Yeah, so I gave Francis Ford Coppola once for his birthday some mushrooms.
What?
Just a fun fact. All right, but I give this movie a young, dripped out Gary Oldman out of 10. I'm gonna give it like a 9.2 out of 10. It's not a perfect score because of British Keanu. It took me out of it a little bit. I mean, it's one of the greatest Dracula vampire films ever, that's for sure. I don't know if it's my favorite. Let's probably go through all the vampire movies, watch all those, see what's my favorite, rank them. Maybe, possibly, spooky season, you know what I'm saying, type shit. But yes, that is my review, and with that, I bid you adieu. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. It's gonna be spooky season. I'm gonna be watching a shit ton of horror films I haven't seen that I probably should have. So be on the lookout for all of those. Take care now, and bye-bye then. Ta-ta.